I'm showing you, we have no check engine light. It's idling at less than 750 RPM. The idle's quiet. And which was what I did is I had purchased some fuel injectors from eBay, and I installed them. And I don't know if you remember from the last video, on the short turn fuel trim on both bank 1 and bank 2, it was showing at idle like sometimes 25%. That means those injectors were 15 ohm resistance. And even though it said it was for a Pathfinder, for a VQ40DE for my 2012 Pathfinder, it was showing sometimes 25% of negative adjustment of trim. Now look at it. After I cleaned the injectors, I dipped them in that solution of carburetor cleaner with chlorine, and look at it. It's almost zero adjustment. It's almost perfect. So I reinstalled the factory injectors after I cleaned them, and look at it. Now look at the coolant temperatures, 158. With the other ones, even though it was even at a 170, because I have a low thermostat. I put a low thermostat because the Florida car. I mean, I drive in Florida, so I put a Mishimoto racing thermostat on it because I want to keep it cool. So it is right now running a perfect trim, absolutely perfect trim. When it was doing 25%, 19, 18% on bank 1, bank 2 was at 13 something. It was just wild. So, so now I cleaned up the factory injectors. I dipped them in a solution of carburetor cleaner and shook them for probably an hour or something like that. And, it broke loose all the junk and stuff that was in there. And it is idling perfect. Let me check to see any pending codes. It might have, because I'm probably going to do, because this car has I think it was one of the passages of the oil. Something got stuck in it when I assembled it. And on the variable valve timing solenoid on the bank 1, which is on Nissan Pathfinders 2012, that model, I think it's 05 to 12, it's on the passenger side. Of course, in the United States, in Britain, passenger side is on the left, but the United States is on the right. So we're going back, and we're going to do a pending code. It's probably going to give me a pending code for that solenoid. We're going to see. Now it was saying lean bank 1. See, because it took a little bit of time to adjust it. I don't know if you remember, it used to be too rich. Now the computer adjusted itself and adjusted the injector pulse when it detected that it had different injectors with a lower ohm rating, a lower what do you call that? Resistance. So, but at the beginning it was showing 20 something, and it wasn't because it was startup, because I've been monitoring this driving, and you don't have to take my word for it. Those injectors never went down, and the computer was struggling to keep them. So we're gonna see if it's got any codes permanent, not permanent, the actual. No, so so that was something that it detected temporarily, okay, while it was adjusting itself. But we're going back again to the data, view data. It's validating the sensors, and it's at 159. And short-term trim again, 1 is 0. Yeah, 0.0, like nothing. It's perfect. So did its job. I'm gonna go ahead and clear it. Clear the pending codes. I have to shut it off and put it into key on position. Read codes. Oh, pending codes. Enter. All right. So we're gonna erase codes. Yes. All right. Command sent. See the pending codes. Pass. No codes found. Now we're gonna start it up again. And then we're going to view the data. And see the the short-term fuel trim. Number 1, 0. Number 2, 0. That's mine, and you know, it fluctuated a little bit upon startup. Throughout the range, you want it to stay close to 0 throughout the range. So 0. So it's trimming it, and I'll tell you how many RPMs I have. You guys, temperature of my catalytics is 298, 305. Evap purge. So let's see. See if it gives me the RPM. I'm advancing, so I'm accelerating right now. I'm at 2300 RPM, and it's normal for it to trim it up. So you want both sides, both bank 2 and bank 1, to be really close. So we're close. I'm letting down on the gas. Engine speed, I'm at 20, 20, 25, 26. You see? Short-term trim, it's almost 0 once it stabilizes. So we're doing good now. I'm gonna let it idle down. I'm at like 750. And look at the trim. You know, it's stabilizing. So 5.4, 2.2, 0.8. It's still stabilizing. But it's you know, once you let it stabilize really good, it will go to 0. And that's what you're looking for. Really close to 0. No trimming. No short-term trimming. And you see down the long-term trim is basically, I think, it's an average. So there's a 2% discrepancy, or 3, almost 3. And you know, that's an older car. The car's got 214,000 miles. But 214,000 miles at 0% trim, very close to 0, it's cake. It's beautiful. So, yeah, that's it. Good luck, guys.